Mexico's most powerful lawmakers is calling for Bernalillo County Sheriff Manny Gonzales to resign. U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich says from Gonzales' opposition to body cameras to aligning with the Trump administration, it's time for him to step aside. News 13's Rachel Knapp is here with the reaction. Rachel?
Jess, Sheriff Gonzales is in Washington, D.C. tonight. On the same day, a memo obtained by CBS News shows that the Department of Homeland Security is eyeing Albuquerque as one of a few cities where more than 175 federal officers could be deployed. In April, Bernalillo County Sheriff Manny Gonzales voiced support for more help from the feds to combat violent crime in the metro.
So it's put us on the national spotlight in terms of how serious the crime crisis is.
This comes after his department got $1.4 million in federal money for equipment and training.
Our streets in American communities should never be treated like battlefields.
Today, Democratic U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich is calling for the sheriff's resignation, saying the sheriff doesn't represent the county when he voices opposition for body cameras. State law now requires all law enforcement agencies to wear them, but BCSO deputies will instead use smartphones, claiming they will be better than cameras.
To us, this is an archaic piece of technology.
Sheriff Gonzales is in Washington, D.C. this week to discuss the recent surge of violence across America with President Trump and Attorney General William Barr. After the recent Black Lives Matter and equal rights protests here and across the U.S., a Homeland Security memo obtained by CBS News says Albuquerque is one of a handful of cities where the president is considering sending 175 federal officers. The Trump administration is already getting backlash for deploying federal officers to Portland, Oregon, amid protests there. Senator Heinrich says the sheriff is, quote, inviting the president's stormtroopers into Albuquerque. The sheriff released a statement saying in part, regrettably, Senator Heinrich couldn't be more political and out of touch with the local social problems and the great work being done by our deputies and the other first responders. President Trump himself hasn't mentioned Albuquerque yet as an area where he's concerned about protesting. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller released a statement this afternoon on the issue of federal policing, saying in part, we will not sell out our own community or our own police department for this obvious political agenda. APD Chief Mike Geyer called it politics standing in the way of police work.